practicing handicap.
Doug, we're just out here. This is the first time I've been out here since me and you were out scouting last time, Doug. That's great.
I had a hefty dinner though.
I'm just floating. I'm looking for a crossing. There might be one here. Yeah, there's a decent one right here. I don't see any tracks. Yeah, we're probably stuck right here anyway. Let's use that. You ain't kidding though. You said it feel like I'm in the bayou. All right, well, right before we were about to hop up here and find a good spot to put this camera, Dylan pointed out there was a really good track and a couple more that hit this crossing. There's a crossing right here that we originally seen, and then if you look across, they're definitely beating up and down this thing. There's a little one right here. But if I can't find anything significant coming off of the ag into this little peninsula that we're about to hit, I'm just gonna throw a camera up to watch this. It makes sense. Could be a bed right here, dude. Right on this water edge. Looks like a trail that leads right to it. Oh no, that is not a bed. That is a den. Holy moly. Oh, it might be a bed right here. It's gotta be from beavers, dude. Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be beavers.
Someone's gonna see that and be like, tell me where it's at. I need to put a trap in there. It could be, but it also might be a bedding area, because if you think about it, the drainage is right here. It runs down this way. River's right here. It's almost like a little point. You know what I mean? They can hear anything coming from the water over here, from the river. So Dylan pointed out there was a rub in here, old historic. There's historics right here.
At every turn there's some historics.
And there's a handful of historics right here. Almost like it's bedding with this big lay down behind it. All right, so didn't see anything that really like looked like a scrape. It is all ripped up right here. However, this is all nipped off. This is nip. All the ends of this is nipped off.
These two.
Right at the beginning of this point. We're gonna keep on following this. Yeah, this looks like it gets touched up for sure. Oh yeah. There's tine marks all up in this thing, man. The meat of it's like right at my thigh. All right, let's just keep pushing up till we hit that edge. All right, we made it to the corner where the public and private meet. Some good trails. I'm not seeing any significant rubs. There's an old historic right there on that. You would just imagine this corner right here is where they would come in at. Coming off of this corner here where we just were. Some good historics. Oh, there's a good trail right here. Yeah, we'll follow this back. Nothing yet, but this trail is hammered. You can see it pretty clear for it being so thick already. It's a small track. Essentially wrapped all the way around this way. Keep on finding subtle signs. There's more historics. There's one here. There's one inside of here with what looks like a bed. I'll keep going this way. You alright? Yeah. It sounded like a pretty big thud.
Yeah, I didn't catch myself at all.
That's what we like to see.
Covered area.
Yeah. Good trail coming through here as well. It was good to see. There's a main beaten trail that follows the edge of where the private and public meet. And there is a giant historic right there. And I was just debating on, back here anyway, if I should run a camera on the public that just faces this transition where they're gonna walk the edge of the ag or back on the back on that water crossing. But we're gonna follow the edge all the way down so we don't miss anything. It's just screaming that I need to put a camera on it. Beaten trail right here, it's right on the edge of the public and private. And then you can see right here, someone's got to stand on the private watching this opening. So,
Jesus.
keep that in mind. Could be good. It could keep the bigger deer out from here, especially if it's like a permanent stand like that. The deer might just know that they're hunting there, and it might just keep them out from the spot. So we're actually coming up to where this comes to a point, but another good trail here. This is less than 100 yards from that stand though, so we're just gonna head to the point, see what we got for sign. If there's anything that looks good, I might put a camera there, but otherwise heading right back to that drainage. I'll probably put it in the drainage. We walked to that corner. It looks pretty good. There wasn't a lot of sign, but it's obviously where a lot of trails come together. We've been having a hard time distinguishing where the actual property line is because it's not matching up on Onyx. Ended up seeing 2 of them. So now I'm looking for the 3rd one just to make sure I am on public 100%, because this little area right here is pretty good. The trails are absolutely hammered. There's historics all down through this thing. But I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Oh, you know. I was waiting for these damn cameras to send me a picture. I've had it with these cells. Yeah, I ain't never seen the water like this. Usually we get stuck right there. Alright, well, spot we're at now. I had a handful of encounters last year. I had 2 bucks walk right to me. Actually rattled them in. And then the weekend before that, I had a really nice buck work the same area that I was sitting. So I'm gonna get to the tree that I sat in, kind of assess the situation, kind of look at all the trails where they meet up at, where I should put my camera, what kind of camera I should put, and then push actually a little bit farther in, because during the scouting season not too long ago, I scouted back here and found some really big sign. It's kind of a bit of ways from here, but I might as well go there while we're back here. I ran a camera here 2 seasons ago and got an absolute hammer walking through right where I'm at right now. I'm pretty sure my camera was on one of these trees. But the tree I sit in is actually right up here. So we're gonna get up there, kind of take a look at all these trails. I wanted to get back here before the green up, but I just never did. Kind of got sidetracked. Also gonna look for hunter side in here. It's just a cool spot, man. Dude, that's why I'm seeing. That's crazy, dog. Right there, hanging off that tree. All right, so this is kind of crazy. The tree that I sat in is probably like 30-35 yards away from us right now. Took me a minute to recognize it just because of how thick it is in here. But instead of just throwing my camera on it right away, or just a camera in general in that spot, I wanted to walk around in this area just because I had 3 different deer come from 3 different directions to this location. Now we're sitting in here. The tree that I sat in is way back there. There's a pretty defined trail that we stood on right here. There's a good track on it up there. The first buck that came in walked from this way. This is the trail that he came right to my tree on. and then he turned around and walked right back this way. And then I had a 6-pointer that same sit that poked his head out around this spot, worked his way down the edge over there. It's open on the other side of this. And then he ended up turning around and came back from where he came from. And then when I had that bigger buck the weekend before, he came from this opening down here, cut through this thick, walked pretty much where I'm standing actually, and then followed this opening here. He didn't go through to where my tree was. He stayed on the back side of this. Everything meets up right here in this general area. So I'm either going to throw a camera right where I'm standing, or I'm going to put it back to where my tree was, but it's a good spot. That's the other thing I wanted to say too, is years ago when I first started scouting this spot, kicked up a bunch of does in here during the gun season, one of my first seasons, and I walked around in here and I found this really old stand that was grown into the tree, and that thing is actually right here. I made the comment years back in one of my videos that I showed that, and I was just like, man, every time I see one of these things, it's a really old stand. Somebody probably owned this area or this spot in general, this land, and that's where they decided to put their stand up, and it's probably somebody who knew a lot about the area. And lo and behold, I start sitting in this spot and I see quite a few bucks already. My first 2 sits back here in this spot. Yeah, because look at this. So I got a trail here. There's a trail that one meanders here. It kicks off to the left. It goes straight. There's a trail right here. The tree that I sit is right here. There's a trail that goes back here. You can see where there's an opening right here that they walk through. So rather than put the camera up where I was just standing, I came back just because all of the main trails meet up right here. So I'm actually probably going to put my camera in this skinnier tree here. That's what Dylan called out, because you're able to watch this whole area. Anything that comes this way is going to walk under it, to the side, this way. Anything that comes back from this way.
Anything that hits this open.
Alright, got that camera up. There is this area that I found. It's probably only like less than 100 yards away from the tree that I sat that had a scrape in it. And then when I popped out of the area that had the scrape, I found this crossing, and it's got this gnarly historic rub on it. This is the crossing here. So I'm looking at possibly getting the camera up, just watching this right here. But I'm gonna pop into there and see what that looks like inside while it's all greened up. I just crossed that crossing. Now I sat in here last season after finding a scrape. Let's see if I can find that, or just the tree inside in general that I sat. It was a real tight area to hunt, not much shooting, but it had to be right on top of it. It was like pretty much right here. So right now I'm debating on if I want to run a camera inside of here, which it looks perfect for a deer to just mill around midday. Crossed a couple of spots that look like scrapes. Or just throw the camera on that crossing. Alright, I think I found it. There's a lot that meets up right here. There's a trail here. This is the main trail that we just walked through, all that, turned around, came back in on. Continues to go through there. It actually takes the left, goes through there. Everything meets up right here. This is where I'm putting my camera at for sure. Alright, she's up. Got her facing right down here, right where all these trails meet. Get it marked and get on our way. Well, it's raining now. We got a buggy. Is this supposed to storm actually? Oh shit. I'm about to crash. Alright. Let's boogie.